I remember the chill of the linoleum against my cheek, the metallic tang of blood in my mouth. Before that, there was only a whirlwind of fists, a torrent of words that sliced deeper than any blade. 3 hours, they say, but it felt like an eternity. 3 hours of a monster wearing my husband's face, his rage a tangible thing, suffocating me. And then, the final push. A sickening lurch, the air knocked from my lungs as I tumbled, a ragdoll down the second-floor stairs. Darkness. A silence so profound it was almost louder than the chaos that preceded it. When I next opened my eyes, the world was a blurry kaleidoscope of white walls and hushed whispers. The sterile scent of antiseptic clung to the air, a stark contrast to the familiar scent of my home, now a distant, painful memory. My body screamed in protest with every shallow breath. 6 ribs fractured, a constellation of pain across my chest. My face, I later saw, was a swollen, grotesque caricature of my own. I could barely pry my eyelids apart, the effort agonizing. It was in that fragile state, adrift in a sea of pain, that the nurse's hushed words delivered the final, cruel blow. He was gone. Not just gone from my life, but gone with her. The neighbor, the one who smiled so sweetly over the fence, borrowed sugar, and cooed about my roses. The betrayal was a second fall, a plummet into an abyss even deeper than the one I'd just survived. My name is Dorothy Wilson, though most folks call me Grandma Dot these days. I'm 73 now, and my voice, though a little raspy with age, carries the weight of decades lived, lessons learned, and scars earned. I was born in the quiet, coal-dusted hollows of Pikeville, Kentucky, a place where life was hard but honest, where the mountains cradled you, and community was a lifeline. But for the past 40 years, Louisville has been my sanctuary, my chosen home. I arrived here with nothing but a bruised body, a broken spirit, and the clothes on my back. The story of how a girl from Pikeville ended up in this bustling city, how I rebuilt a life from the ashes of betrayal and violence, is a story I've carried deep within me. It felt like a jagged shard, buried beneath the surface, always there, a phantom ache. But today, with the wisdom of age and the quiet strength of survival, I'm finally ready to excavate it. I'm ready to share. That hospital room became my chrysalis, a place where I was forced to confront not just the physical wreckage, but the gaping, unseen wounds within. The doctor's words about my broken bones were clear, tangible. But what about a shattered heart? A trust betrayed beyond measure? How do you mend that? Each sunrise brought a fresh wave of grief and anger, a brutal reminder of the life that had been snatched away. I wasn't just grieving a husband. I was grieving a future, a sense of security, the very fabric of my identity. I had been Dorothy, wife. Now who was I? The nurses, bless their patient souls, were a silent testament to human kindness. They saw past the swelling and the bruises, past the tears that trickled down my temples. They saw a woman in pain, and they offered solace in quiet gestures, a gentle hand on my arm, a warm blanket, a cup of tea. It was in those quiet moments, stripped bare of everything familiar, that a tiny, defiant spark began to flicker within me. A spark of survival. I remembered my father, Mr. Anthony, coming home from the coal mines, his face streaked with black dust. I used to think it looked like beautiful snow, but now I knew it was the dust that slowly, relentlessly stole his breath. He faced his silent battle with grit and determination, never complaining. If he could endure, so could I. One day, a ray of sunshine pierced through the hospital window, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. It was a small thing, but it felt like a message, a reminder that even in the darkest corners, light still existed. I started to notice the sounds outside, the distant hum of traffic, the chirping of birds. Life was continuing, moving forward, even if mine felt stuck in a perpetual twilight. I had a choice, a stark, terrifying choice. Succumb to the darkness and let it consume me, or find a way, however small, to claw my way back to the light. The journey ahead felt impossible, a mountain too steep to climb with so many broken parts. But something deep inside, a whisper from my younger self, refused to give up. I wasn't just a victim, I was a survivor. And my story, I realized, was far from over. Leaving Pikeville was like severing a limb. It was the only home I'd ever known, a place steeped in memories, both sweet and bitter. But those bitter ones, the ones clinging to every corner of my small house, were too strong. I needed to breathe air that didn't carry the stench of betrayal. Louisville, with its sprawling streets and anonymous faces, called to me. It offered a chance for a clean slate, a place where no one knew my past, where I could be just Dorothy, not Dorothy, the woman whose husband, well, you know. The move was terrifying, a leap of faith into the unknown. I arrived with fear as my closest companion, but also a nascent flicker of hope. The first few years in Louisville were a blur of finding my footing. I took on odd jobs, anything to keep a roof over my head and food on my table. I learned to navigate the city, its rhythms so different from the quiet life I'd left behind. There were moments of profound loneliness, days when the weight of my past felt crushing, when I questioned if I had made the right choice. But each small victory, landing a new job, making a new friend, simply making it through another day, was a testament to my resilience. I discovered a strength I never knew I possessed, a fierce determination to not just survive, but to thrive. As the years turned into decades, Louisville slowly, gently, became home. I found a community, people who saw me for who I was becoming, not who I had been. I went back to school, something I'd always dreamed of, and eventually became a retired teacher. It was a career that brought me immense joy, shaping young minds, pouring my heart into their futures. I realized that my story wasn't just about pain. It was about transformation. It was about how even the most devastating experiences can carve out new paths, reveal hidden strengths, and lead to unexpected blessings. My journey from a frightened girl in Pikeville to a YouTube grandma in Louisville? Who could have predicted such a twist of fate? Not me, certainly. But here I am, and I wouldn't trade a single step of this long, winding road. For decades, my story remained mostly within the confines of my own heart, a quiet understanding between myself and the universe. I shared bits and pieces with trusted friends, moments here and there that hinted at the depths I had known. But there came a point, as the silver threads mingled with the gold in my hair, when a new conviction began to bloom within me. I realized that the pain I had endured, the journey of healing I had walked, wasn't just mine. It was a testament, a beacon, a whisper of hope for others who might be navigating their own storms. The world had changed so much since my youth. My grandchildren were glued to screens, talking about channels and subscribers. They introduced me to YouTube, this vast ocean of voices, and a crazy idea began to form. What if I, a retired teacher, a grandma with a lifetime of stories, could share my experiences there? It felt daunting, almost absurd. What would I say? Who would listen to an old lady rambling about her past? But the conviction grew stronger, a quiet insistence that this was my next chapter, my new purpose. That's how Grandparent Stories was born. It's more than just a channel. It's a little corner of the internet where wisdom is valued, where empathy is abundant, and where every shared experience creates a ripple effect of understanding. I started cautiously, my voice trembling a little as I faced the camera for the first time. But with each video, with each comment from people all over the world, my confidence grew. It wasn't just about me anymore. It was about us. It was about transforming the sharp edges of pain into a pathway for purpose, for connection, for collective healing. I believe, with every fiber of my being, that there's an extraordinary power in sharing our truths. When we articulate our deepest wounds, when we bravely shine a light on the moments that shaped us, we not only heal ourselves, but offer a balm to others who might feel utterly alone in their struggles. This platform, this beautiful community, has become that balm for me, and I hope for you too. Now, at 73 years young, I look back not with bitterness, but with a profound sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the strength I found, for the new beginnings, for the unexpected twists and turns my life has taken. Life, I've learned, is a tapestry woven with threads of every color: joy, sorrow, triumph, despair. My story, like yours, isn't just about the dark patches. It's also about the vibrant hues that emerged when the storm clouds finally parted. I stand here today, a retired teacher, a mother, a grandmother, a survivor. But above all, I am a witness. A witness to the incredible resilience of the human spirit, and to the undeniable truth that love, in its purest form, always finds a way to prevail. If you are walking through your own valley of shadows right now, be it the silent battle of domestic violence, the crushing weight of loss, the relentless grip of illness, or the quiet ache of loneliness, please know this: there is life beyond the pain. Tomorrow can be different. You are stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you can possibly imagine in this moment. Your story is not defined by your worst days. The final page of your book has not yet been written. As long as there is breath in your lungs, there is the possibility of new chapters, of unexpected plot twists, of happy endings you might not even dare to dream of right now. From a frightened girl in Pikeville, trembling with a broken heart, to a YouTube grandma in Louisville, finding purpose in every shared word. Who could have predicted such a journey? Certainly not me. But here I am, and here you are. Thank you for lending me your ears, for opening your hearts, for being a part of my story, and for allowing me to be a part of yours. Let's keep this conversation going. What resonated with you most in my journey? Have you found healing in sharing your own story, or perhaps in listening to someone else's? Share your thoughts, your wisdom, your own beautiful stories in the comments below. And if my words have touched you, if they've sparked even a flicker of hope or connection, please consider subscribing to Grandparent Stories. Your support is more than just a click. It's a virtual hug, a testament that these shared experiences matter. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next chapter. With love from a grandma who has known the depths but discovered that even there, flowers bloom. Dorothy Wilson Parker, 73 years old.